don't forget to subscribe for more reviews. Please also like. Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is Tom, and today we have the privilege of looking at the SND upgrade kit, SND-01 Primo Vitalis for the Combiner Wars Optimus Prime. Now, Shigeru Nigoyo Do, if I pronounced my Japanese anywhere near correctly. As you notice, we're looking at this from a different angle. That's because this box is extremely large. It's much larger than I expected. To give you guys a sense of scale, and I know this angle is odd, but this is the best I could do. Here's my ruler. So the box right here, I'd say is every bit of 13 and a half inches wide by, I'd say 12 and a half long. So here's the top of the box, side of the box, side of the box, side of the box, top of the box. And the back of the box has a product shot. Okay, so I love these upgrade kits, and I bought this one for the Combiner Wars Prime. I'm looking forward, I really hope they eventually make the upgrade kit, the one for the white Optimus, the Power, whatever it was, one that turns him into Nova Prime. I'm really hoping that they eventually make that one. Although I haven't heard any movement on it. Let's see here. Here is everything that's in the kit right out of the box. I mean, you saw me unbox it. You get the Energon swords, and we'll take a better look at these here in a few minutes. But you get the Energon swords. You get a new gun for Optimus. I'm concluding that these are knee pads or something. More leg bits, foot bits, shins. Here's the torso, there's the top bits, new heads, and I don't know what that is, but we'll figure it out together. So, I will, oh, and he comes with this instruction book, a screwdriver, a new pin. I don't know how well some of this is coming off. Let me see here. Sorry. Open this thing up here real quick, and so there's a pin, and looks like 5 new screws and a screwdriver. So we've taken a look at this. Here is my Combiner Wars Prime, and next time you see him, I'll be over at my table, and we should be putting this stuff together. So before we get too deep into this, I'm going to do some quick size comparisons, kind of a before and after thing. Here is Combiner Wars Prime with Classics Prime, just to give you a sense of scale here. For you movie fans, here he is with Movie Bumblebee. Okay, here he is with a Modern Deluxe. Stand, man, stand. I say that. There he is with a Modern Deluxe. And, let's see, Legend Scale Tailgate. I know he kind of bleeds out on this white here. Okay. That will give you a sense of scale. So, alright, we'll take it from that. Oh, there's one other comparison. So for the final comparisons, here he is with Combiner Wars Leader Ultra Magnus. he doesn't fit on the screen. Okay, and here he is with my DX9 Megatron. Again, just for a sense of scale for size, because he's going to change scale. Okay. Alright. So we're going to get started here. And I'm not the important thing in this. The kit is, and he is. So, let's see here. Let's see if I can get everything going here. We've got our instruction booklet. And I'm going to try and go through this as quickly and as well as I can. Let's see. I believe I promised to show these parts off a little bit better. So, one sword. One axe. One sword extension. One gun. Very nice. And he can already hold the gun, and he already looks 10 times better with that gun. So, yeah. Alright. Let's see here. We have this piece. We have this piece, which is mirrored on the other side. We have... Come out, man. Come out. Ah. A new foot. We have this bit for the cab section. Oop. As I haven't broken anything. We have a new head. We have a new combined head. More bits for the cab. I think this is the block that you use to knock out the pin. I'll leave it aside. Thigh piece. New chest piece, which comes in a couple of different pieces. And that's it. Okay, so the instructions show starting with Optimus here, it shows removing these screws. Now I appreciate the fact that they have given us a screwdriver, but I'm a firm believer in using your own stuff whenever you can. And I just happen to have a screwdriver set that I happen to know won't strip anything. So, take these out here. The instructions show that there are 3 screws. One here, one here, one here, and one here. I've taken this one out. I'm going to take this one out and maybe get in there. Well, then I'll take this one out. Do not lose your screws. Alright, that was much easier. And I think, unless I change my mind, at the end of this video, I will, I'll do a shot of the instructions so everybody can see them. Okay? Now, the instructions show the wheels coming off, and yay, the wheels came off. Okay, and then it shows the foot plate here coming off. So you're left with this. Okay, I've taken off this piece and the foot. Okay, and I'm setting those parts aside. Now, it shows me taking the new foot, maybe, and attaching it right here. Applying the new foot right here. So it shows it. And then it shows reapplying the calf. It does show it. Mine does not want to go in. It's not. That's the correct foot. Oh, there we go. Okay. It was just a tight little tolerance right there. Okay. And now it shows that we take the piece that we took off and we reapply it here. Just like this. The plastic, I don't know how well it comes off, but it's just a slight different shade. And at this point it could be simply the age of the plastic itself on the figure, as opposed to the plastic of the SND kit. Because I don't remember exactly the year this kit came, or the Optimus came out, but he's been out for a little bit, so that may be playing a factor here. So what I'm going to do, I mean, you're seeing me install the screws back in. It's not that big of a thing. I'm not going to put you through the pain of watching me do the other side. I will simply cut the video here, especially since this little section has taken almost 8 minutes just to put on a leg. Yeah, I'll cut the video here and do the other side. But right off the bat, you can see we've got a size difference. Just right off the bat. Okay, I'm going to pause the video here. So, I've applied both feet, and now he has ankle rockers. That's pretty cool. That alone, well, it wasn't worth the price of admission for this kit, but that does indeed add something to it, and I'm happy for that. So the next thing we do is, unless I'm badly mistaken, is going to be the thigh extenders. So, let me just move a few things here out of the way so you all could see maybe just a little bit better. I didn't plan this out very well. I should have done this maybe a little bit better. So, next thing we do is we take these screws right here out, and it just shows taking off these. Okay, there's one. And here is, excuse me, two. And if I remember correctly, there should be a spring or two in here. And I do indeed see a spring. Okay, now the knee. Alright, so here is the assembly. As you can see, there's just a spring. This piece here top piece, and the knee is simply on a mushroom peg. Now, we need to find the correct knee here. So here's a question. Why do I have a mushroom peg right here if we leave this one intact? Questions, 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 especially since we put this one back together. Well, it didn't show putting that in there. One thing at a time. Let's see. This comes up like this. And I guess it's just a question of which one goes where. Is it going to be this one or is it going to be this one? And that I do not know. But one of these, I imagine, is going to clip in here like this to give thigh rotation. But now that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And the instructions aren't incredibly helpful here. So what the instructions show are this piece still remaining intact with your spring right here, push. Oh, there was the ratchet. I don't know, where did that ratchet come from? Where did it go? Was it down here? Surely not. Surely it wasn't. It might have been right there. Okay, that would make sense, but was it there or there? Well, poop. Now you've got to look to see where your ratchet was, and hopefully not mess it up before you find the other one. This is why we watch these build videos, so that we can see exactly what other people do wrong and hopefully not make the same mistake. Alright, so if we look at this knee and we look at it very closely, we can see the spring and we can see how this ratchet is put together. Here is the ratchet. And if we take it off, if we can, we see this piece came off of here. And it was attached just like this, with the spring on top of it, maybe, just like this. And what they did was they separated this leg, and I need to keep all my pieces together here so I don't get them wrong. They separated this leg just like this, okay. They had this piece still attached here. So this piece goes in like this, okay, and this piece is going to go right here, and now we need to figure out which thigh extender goes where. And honestly, I'm not 100% sure. So we're going to, I guess? I really hate guessing on this type of thing. But sometimes you kind of have to. And here's the thing about it. If you get it wrong, I guess that would work. Or would it do better like this? Yeah, I guess that would work. Okay. If you get it wrong, you can always take it apart and put it back together. I say that. You got to keep pressure on your spring. Like I said, you got to keep pressure on your spring. Alright. And that'll just snap back together. I promise you it will, or at least it's supposed to. Does that other one have that? Yeah, it does. Okay. So that'll come Okay, yeah, so this must be the right one. Okay, so that'll come in like that. And this will come in like this. And they'll all close around together. Once you get one in, pop you a screw in here real quick before it has a chance to fuss at you. And one thing I'm noticing here is that, once again, the plastic is just slightly a different color than the Hasbro plastic. Alright, so I got the bottom screw in here, and it seems to be there's enough tension so that the screw, I should be able to screw in the top without having to squeeze it. Which, at least from my perspective, is a good thing. Alright. Does it still work? Yes. Okay. That will come around, that'll tighten in there, clip in there. Yeah, I think that's the right one. Yeah, that'll tighten there, that'll clip there. I think that's correct. So, I think that's right. Of course, now the issue becomes, I'm going to have to get this leg, and I have to make sure it's the right one. Yeah, it is, okay. I'm going to have to loosen this enough to be able to get that mushroom peg in there. And yeah, it's going to have to come looser than that. Okay. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it, Tom. There we go. Ah, it still needs more. All the way, apparently. Alright, well, then all the way it is. Get in there. Nothing is ever easy. But that's okay. Because, as I tell my daughters, things that are easy aren't always worth doing. There. Now we'll put this pin back in. Maybe. Interestingly, that wasn't a machine screw, that was a wood screw. Right here. This one was a wood screw. So, yeah, that was kind of interesting. Alright, and let's see here. The way this will work, this will come up. We've got a notch and a pin and a slot and a groove. That'll just close together, that'll close together, and that gives him his thigh extender. So, I will do this other side over here the same way. Alright, so the next thing we have to do is we have to knock a center pin out of this guy. And the center pin is located right here. You can see it. It's right here. And that's what this piece right here is for. There is a hole cut in it right here that's going to allow the pin to drop through. Now you'll need a hammer and a punch of some kind to be able to do this properly. Now, some of you may never have taken out a pin from a transformer like this before. These pins come, they're smooth on, say, 9/10 of them, maybe 8/10 of them, and on the other side of that smoothness, the other side of the pin, if this is a pin, then it's all smooth up through here until you get to this point right here where it's got the holding mechanism. It's rough, and it's designed to catch the plastic so that the pin doesn't come out. The trick here is figuring out which side, either this side or this side or this side, has the holding bits on it. And unfortunately for me, I can't tell. So I'm going to just hammer it down a little bit until I figure out for sure exactly which one it is. And the way this is cut, it'll fit. It's designed to sit just like this to give you access. And I'm not going to use the screwdriver, I've got a punch, but to put your punch right here and to hammer down on it. So I'm not going to do that on camera. Next time you see this, this should be in 2 pieces. Okay, so I'm breaking back in here for just a second just to show you. Here's my punch that I use. I'm using a 1/16 for those of you who use this type of measurement, and I think it came off backwards. It's 1/16. But here, this is a demonstration of what I was trying to show you. This is the rough side, right here. So I just thought I'd point that out, and it's coming out real easy. So I was able to get the pin out without any trouble. Here's the pin, and again you can see the groove section right here. That's the part that holds it in the figure. Next, the instructions want me to remove this pin right here, which will separate this from it. So yeah, once again I'm going to do this off camera. So once I got the pin out, these 2 pieces separated from this piece and left me with this. So now I got that. Well, I'm just going to set that aside for the moment. Let's see here. Oh, now I guess I have to do this. Alright, take these, set them aside. Now it wants me to remove these 2 pieces here. And, let's see, it shows me doing something to it. Do I have a new crotch plate here? Yeah, I do. Okay. So I have to remove these 2 screws right here. Alright. Well, I reckon I know how to do that. Set these aside. Unscrew. I am enjoying this little project here. Alright. Get these out. Get out! Get out! You're not welcome anymore! This is not your home! Alright, set those aside, and I have this piece right here, which for some reason has some filler pieces. I don't know why. Okay, oh, it shows me removing those. And there are springs in here too. How interesting. Okay. So, I removed the springs from here. Set this aside. Take the new crotch panel here, apparently, and I apply the new springs and these little bitty pieces here to it. And these are little tiny pieces too. And it's going to be fun getting these in here. Alright, let's see. The easiest way to do this might simply be to attach them to the screwdriver and kind of maneuver them into place over top of this. Set a finger there, and then take my handy dandy tool here, maneuver it appropriately, and go plop, just like that. And you know what? That worked. Man, I bet people have just went nuts trying to get those in there. Let's see here. Take your handy dandy screwdriver that now has the screw attached to it. Put it over top of that little depression where the screw is going to set. Put your finger there so it'll sit there. Maneuver it into the appropriate place. Doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to look that way. Okay, and I'm not moving this so you all can see it, because as soon as I do, it'll jump out. Pick up your little itty bitty piece here and apply it. Just like we were playing that game Operation when we were kids. Just like that right there. Don't touch the walls. Okay. Now, if it's done properly, and I may end up having to do this again, if it's on there correctly, and it is. Look at that. Can you see it? Those are the two pieces I put in there properly. Yay! Alright, so those are for the ratchets for the legs. Okay. Now, we reposition these legs here like this. Let's see here. This is the crotch plate. Comes down like that. No, it comes up like this. Okay. This leg comes in here. This leg comes in here. And then you take this piece right here and you solidify everything. Give it a good little squeeze, 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 squeeze. Okay. And before it can change its mind and decide to go rogue on us all, we're going to put in the retaining screw. Right. Ah, get in there. Damn you. Damn you, man. Ah, there we go. As we used to say, it's all in how you hold your jaw. And hopefully this is not one of those pieces that required one of the new screws. Hopefully. Because we've got some, but so far I haven't seen where they're supposed to go yet. Alright. This might be one of those new screw things, because this is apparently not connecting right. Ah, yes, it is. It shows red screws, so I have no idea which screws are which. But what I do know is these screws are not catching. Oh dear. Alright folks, so I'm not sure exactly if this is one of the points where I was supposed to put in new screws or not, but it worked. So here's hoping. That's the way I'll say that. Here's hoping. That was what I was supposed to do. Alright. So I've done that. Now what? Is this the point where I get to say that these instructions aren't the clearest ever was? I believe, if I'm looking at this correctly, this is where I install this part right here. I think. Okay. And it's got, I can't tell for sure if either of these pieces are coming back or not. Or even if this piece is coming back on there. The instructions show something that looked like this, but I could be wrong. If If I didn't know better, I'd say it kind of went like that, but that can't possibly be right. Well, actually, I guess it could be right. That would give... Okay, so, if I'm reading the instructions right, the next thing we do is we take this chest plate, and it'll come up on this mushroom peg right here, which it's got a spot for it, and it'll just clip in like that. Just like that, which is fine. Then, if I read it right, we take the mate here to the mushroom peg, the one that we pulled off, and it's going to set right in here, but it's got ports and pins for it, and pins and slots, which look right. I mean, that looks right. Everything lines up, and it snaps in place. So I'm going to conclude that that's correct. I'm going to conclude that's correct. Alright. Now, it shows this being reattached. Okay. And it shows it, I think, like this, maybe? I don't know. I only get really one chance to get this right, and I'm not sure if that's correct or not. But if that's not correct, I guess we'll find out. And now it shows reinserting the pin. And the pin is out right here. So it should just go back in there, hopefully relatively easily. Maybe not. Maybe. Oh yeah. Alright, so I'm going to do this on the floor. So I got it back in, but man, it fought me. It did not want to go at all. But it's in, and I hate to tell you, but in the event that this is incorrect, it's never coming back off, I don't think. So, I'm perfectly fine with that. Now, let's see here. What is the next step here? Step number 29 has to do with, apparently, the arms. So, this is what we have as far as the arms, right? Okay. So, it shows this. Actually, it shows, we're looking at smokestacks here. What am I looking at here? I have no idea what I'm looking at. I know eventually I have to take off the head. Why don't I go ahead and do that? I know I can do that. I don't even know why I'm bothering. I don't ever really intend to have this guy in combined mode. I mean, I guess it's okay, but it's just not for me. It's not something I ever intend to really utilize or do. Alright. The new head just slips on here. At least that's what it shows. That'll be that way. Ah! Wow. Get on there. It doesn't help that, ow, that it's on an armature and it's moving. That's the issue. This is rocking back and forth. This is rocking back and forth as I'm trying to put this head on here, and it's just not conducive to giving me the angle that I need really to getting it on there. There we go. Maybe yeah, I think I got it. I was successful. Alright. Yep, it's on there. Okay, unhappily, but it's on there. So, I got the head on there. But I still don't know what it is that it's doing with the... I still don't know what it's doing with the arms here. Okay, because it's got these smoke. The way, let me show you the picture here that I'm looking at. I'm looking at this one right here, which you can't see because it's in glare. I'm looking at that one right there, and it shows it. I mean, it shows I'm in the right section because it's got the smokestack and that part, and it shows it moving up, but what the hell is moving up? I have no idea. I guess we will eventually find out together, won't we? I imagine we will. Okay. Yeah, I imagine there'll be something that won't fit right. And I'll be sitting there going, why isn't this fitting right? And you all will be sitting there talking to the TV going, hey, it's because you're not doing it right. Or your phone or whatever it is. Alright, so it looks like this is the next piece. Maybe. And I know that these hook over the smokestacks somehow. Let's see here. Is this the next piece, or is it this one? I think it might be this one. I think it's this one. Yeah. Okay. Oh, it fell apart. Alright. Ah, this is shoulders. It says shoulders. Okay. So each one of these has a groove that's going to slip over here, and ought to be able to, yeah, okay. Alright. If I do this right, I ought to be able to just maneuver this into place here. Just kind of slide it in there, just like that. Yeah. And then we get to maneuver this however we wish later. Get in there, just like that. Alright, and that gives him a shoulder that looks like that, which I like that. I think that works just fine. I've seen other reviewers snap these into place. I'm just going to slide mine on. I think that'll cause a little bit less damage in the long run. I hope. Anyway. Maybe. And they may not have damaged theirs, but they may have. I don't know. Ah! Get on there. That's as far as it goes. Is it? No? That other one went all the way. Well, guess what? You're going to go all the way too. You just don't know it yet. Maybe you do know it yet. Maybe I just don't know it yet. Maybe I've got these on backwards. You think maybe that's the case, folks? Maybe this one's supposed to go, well, no, because when they come together like this, don't they? Don't they? Well, let's find out. They're grooved to go on like this right here. Just like that. And yes, they slide on. Okay. Slide on. Alright, just like that. Ooh, this one can come over a little bit more. Alright. Just like that right there. Okay. Now he's got shoulders. And shoulders look good, and I still have no idea what that one part was. I still don't know. I'm sure we'll find out here shortly, because something won't work right, it won't add up right, it'll fuss at me or something, but I still don't know what that part was for. Alright. Now, you know, nowhere here has it shown me to reattach the pin and hook his body back together yet. And I'm looking at this, and he probably should be together at some point. I would have imagined we would have started putting him back together before we started putting other stuff on here, but maybe I'm overthinking it. You think maybe I'm overthinking it? But I'm looking and I don't see anything that says attach the pin. No. We attached that pin, but not this pin yet. What do you think, folks? Should I go ahead and take the chance and attach that pin? I have to tell you, I'm a little apprehensive. Nowhere does it say to attach that pin. It shows attaching 28, but it doesn't show attaching. It shows attaching the smaller pin, but it doesn't show attaching the larger pin. Alright, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a chance and I'm going to go ahead and attach the pin right now. So I got the pin in, and it wasn't too horribly difficult. Now, let me see here. Now, we've got a new windshield here. We need to figure out how to install properly. And let's see here, if I remember correctly, these things fit over the smokestacks. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how that goes. I just have to maneuver them appropriately. Maybe. Maybe. I remember that one of the big criticisms of this kit, people didn't like it because they said, oh, well, it takes, it puts so much different stuff on his smokestacks. That's true. It does put quite a bit of stuff onto his smokestacks. I'm not going to disagree with that at all. So we know that this comes around like this. Okay, that's how that works. So, clip on smokestack 1, clip on smokestacks 2. Get in there, man. You want to look all pretty, don't you? Come on now. Oh, it's a tight little tolerance. Ooh, that is a tight little tolerance there. It's going to be one of those things that when it's on there, it's never ever coming off type thing. Wow. Ooh dear. Hang on a second. That does not have to be like that. No, that does not. That does not have to be like that. Where is it? Do I have a slightly larger one here? All I'm doing right now is just trying to widen the hole just a little bit, because let me tell you, that is way too tight. Alright. Okay, I will admit that getting these on there legitimately sucked, and it sucked pretty bad. But I was able to do it, and it wasn't a horrible thing the way I was expecting. Beyond my ability to do. They did go on. So that is something. I did have to take, I bought a set of files, diamond files, a long time ago, and I did file the holes down just a touch to be able to get them on here so that they would adequately and accurately go on there. So be aware of that. Alright, so this chest piece has a couple of locking points on it. It's got a locking point here, and a locking point here. And they'll correspond to these three tabs here. So take the center point first, line it up, and that gives that look right there. And then you can take your windshield here on either side and just line it up. And that gives him a much nicer windshield there, at least in my opinion. Okay. Now we move on to the windscreen here, and let me see, it shows it. Boy, this ear. Let's see how to do the windscreen. This is another one of those fits over the cab thing, or the smokestacks things. This seems to be going on a whole lot easier. So we'll just push it down. Oh yeah, much easier. Okay. And hopefully that went on correctly. Hopefully. That'll come down, that'll come down. Yeah, and that's that. Okay, yeah, I can live with that, I think. Doesn't mess up his profile too much. Okay. I can live with that. Gives him a backpack, but I can live with that too. Alright. So, now we move on to the feet, looks like. Maybe. Actually, it kind of shows it having it, if I'm reading this right, splayed out like this so that he's got wings in the back. Okay, I don't really care. I'm easy to get along with. Don't tell my wife.
Hey, I heard that.
So, next we have, looks like these things come into play. Okay, not really sure what we're doing with these here. This is a leg piece. I can figure that one out myself. Let's see here, maybe I can. And I bet this leg piece goes on this leg. Maybe it's this leg. I bet it's this leg. Okay. So that's probably going to come up. It's probably going to connect here somehow, or another, and I still got this piece here. Oh, this piece has to come off on both sides. Okay. Well, that I can do. And I imagine that piece is going to lock that into place, just like that right there. Okay. So this much I can figure out without too much trouble. This piece just comes in and it sits up high enough to replace these two pieces right here. Yeah. Snap it in place, put that down right there, and there you go. Now, I've still got these pieces. These pieces cover up the wheels. Yes, they do. So, how do they cover up the wheels exactly? This piece fits in here like this, comes around and does like that, I think. Maybe? Sort of? Sure, why not? Alright. Is that right? Does that look right to you guys? It kind of looks that way in the instructions. So, I'm going to conclude that might be right. And looking at the picture, it kind of looks like he's all beefy and chunky there. He's still got his waist swivel and all that. He can still... Yeah, okay. I've put him together. That's it. Alright, now for some size comparisons, let's start off with that. Because everybody wants to know how big this guy is. From the tip of his head, he's coming in at, I would say, 9.5 inches. And because I do shoulder blade to shoulder blade, I'm going to say 5 inches. Okay. Now, let's see here. Here he is with Classics Prime. And he's raised up quite a bit. Okay, once again, here he is with... Hang on, man. Hang on, man. Ah! Here he is with Movie Bumblebee. And the Impatient Titans Return Hot Rod. Are you going to stand for me this time? Okay. And Legends Wind Charger. Trail Brake. Tailgate. And because he bleeds out in my on my white background there, Legends Cosmos. Stand man. Okay. And there's one final comparison that I want to make, because I have yet to see anybody else do this, and that doesn't mean that if I haven't seen it, it hasn't been done. It's just I haven't seen it. That's what I wanted to see. Every time I have looked at someone that did this kit, I wanted to see this, and I never got to see that. I wanted to see exactly what was different. And here we go. I mean, you can see it right here. He's got the new chest plate. He's got the new ab section. He's got the new crotch plate. He's got the new leg section. He's got this new stuff here on the side. He's got the new feet. He's got the new head sculpt. He's got this crazy stuff going on at the back, the shoulders. This is the stock. This is the new. This was worth what I paid for it, especially considering the fact that right now, as I'm sitting here at the end of August of 2017, this is on sale at most places that I've looked at. So, yeah. Yeah. There you go. Let me cover articulation. The head is on a ball joint, but mine is extremely, and I mean extremely tight. So tight, I'm really not going to mess with it. He's just gonna look forward. That's just it. I'm not going to mess with it. It's just too tight. Obviously, he's got a waist swivel. It's kind of loose. I may actually tighten that up a little bit. The shoulders retain all of their movement in, out. Didn't really do anything to the shoulders except add this. The arm joint is the same. The big thing here that we messed with was the legs. So let's take a look at the legs. Hip joints. That's the widest stance you're going to get with this because it's got this extra piece now. Okay. However, he does have these ankle rockers now, which allows him to get a really good range there. That's almost painful for me to look at. Now, he does have hip flaps, which allows him to do, it's not pretty. He's got so much kibble in the back. He can do the American splits. He's not going to do the Chinese splits. So, yeah, and he's got those, if you saw the build, if you actually watched the build of it, you saw, I hope, those ratchets that are in this section right here. So, yeah, knee articulation, we still have that much bend, which is good. Feet, you just saw the ankle rocker. There's nothing up and there's nothing down. At least if it is, it's so tight that I don't really want to mess with it. All in all, the only thing that really bothers me is how loose this is, and you know, I'll fix that. That's what they make clear nail polish for. So, yeah. And this is the Classics Prime, so the first version, so he's got the straight up and down or the one click, and it's not much. Alright, but all in all, here's the thing. If you're going to want to play with this guy, if you're going to want to transform him and take him back and forth and do all this crazy stuff with him, don't buy this kit. But if you're wanting a Prime that's going to look really, really good, holding his weapons, which I haven't done yet. Weapons. Holding his weapons, or standing beside of a Megatron, then this is a kit for you. Let me armor him up here. You got this big sword, which he can hold just fine, and his Prime gun, which I just absolutely love that gun. It was almost worth the cost of admission just for the gun. I mean, yeah, those are nice. Those are nice. And you can take out the sword here, and he's got these pieces here, and somehow or another they combine. I mean, you can see that they do. If you don't want him to have the big sword, you can clip this in, give him a big axe, and he can hold that. And I'm just going to set it to the side so you all can see it. He can hold a big axe. And you can do the same thing with this one. Alright, I think that's enough. Now, the only other thing, I don't intend to put him, well, I might end up putting him in combined mode, but while I'm here, while he's in robot mode, we want to see this head right here. Let's see if I can remember how to do this properly. You know what? I think I kind of like that better. He's got like a super robot head, super deformed vibe going on. Yeah, that's a nice looking little head there. Alright, that's enough of this section. Alright, so after the kit has been applied, as you can see, the size of Prime has been considerably increased. And he is now, I guess he's an IDW Prime. He is now scaled, if not leader scale, then, I mean, he scales pretty well there with Megatron, I think. So, and he's a little tall for leader size Ultra Magnus, but I think that works okay.
Thank you for watching my Papa's channel. Please subscribe and like. Thank you.
Hey, I heard that.